Michael woke up before the alarm, his room still dim with the last traces of night. For a moment, he simply lay still, staring at the ceiling, feeling the weight of another day pressing on his chest. Life had been one long stretch of struggle. Too many bills, not enough hours, too many responsibilities, too few answers. But in that quiet darkness, he felt something tug gently at his heart. A whisper, a pull, a reminder. He sat up slowly, feet touching the cold floor. The world outside was silent, but inside him 1,000 thoughts began to rise. Worries, fears, unfinished tasks. Before they could swallow him, he closed his eyes, breathed in deeply, and whispered the name he had been running back to all his life. Jesus. The name left his lips like a trembling plea, yet it carried a strength he didn't have on his own. A warmth spread gently across his chest, slow but steady, as if someone placed a hand over his heart to calm the storm. He whispered again, this time with more courage, Jesus, be with me today. And in the stillness, something shifted. The air felt lighter. His breathing steadied. Peace, real deep, steady peace, began to settle inside him. He stood and opened a window. A soft golden light was forming on the horizon, stretching across the sky like a promise. He watched the sunrise with quiet awe, whispering, Lord, I don't know what today holds, but I know who holds me. For once, he didn't feel the urge to rush. He dressed slowly and stepped outside into the crisp morning. The cool air brushed across his face, carrying the scent of dew-covered grass and wet earth. As he walked down the street, he kept speaking gently under his breath, almost rhythmically. Jesus, go before me. Jesus, walk with me. Jesus, strengthen me. Each whisper felt like another step away from worry and another step toward trust. By the time he reached the bus stop, the city was waking up, cars passing, people hurrying, vendors opening stalls. The noise would normally overwhelm him, but today he felt anchored when he boarded the crowded bus. Instead of anxiety tightening his chest, he felt a strange calmness. A quiet thought nudged his heart. You are not alone. When he arrived at work, the chaos hit immediately. Co-workers were arguing, printers jamming, emails flooding in. His boss approached him with a frustrated tone, handing him a stack of urgent tasks. Michael felt the old panic rising, but before it could take hold, he took a slow breath and said inwardly, Jesus, help me now. Almost instantly, clarity replaced confusion. He moved through each task with a focus he hadn't experienced in months. He spoke with patience. He solved problems calmly. Even people around him began to respond differently, sensing the peace that surrounded him. Around lunchtime, he sat alone at a small table, watching sunlight spill through the window. Instead of scrolling through his phone or rushing through his meal, he bowed his head quietly. Lord, I know you're working in ways I can't see. Thank you for being here. As he prayed, he felt his fears melt one by one, like ice touched by warmth. Later that afternoon, his sister called. Her voice was shaky, filled with worry. Without hesitation, he rushed to her apartment. She was sitting on the couch, hands trembling, overwhelmed by problems she didn't know how to face. Michael didn't try to fix anything on his own. He knew he couldn't. Instead, he knelt beside her, took her hands, and whispered, Let's call on the name of Jesus together. Her tears fell softly as he prayed. Jesus, bring peace into this home. Jesus, lift this burden. Jesus, touch our hearts. As they finished, his sister wiped her eyes, breathing slower, calmer. I feel like something lifted, she whispered. Michael smiled gently. That's Jesus. The sun was setting when Michael walked home, the sky painted in warm orange and deep purple. The evening breeze brushed against his face, and he felt lighter, almost as if God himself was walking beside him. Every step echoed a truth he had forgotten. Calling on Jesus didn't just change the situation. It changed him. When he reached home, the quiet of his room felt comforting instead of lonely. He sat near the window, watching night settle over the city. The stars appeared slowly, one by one, each like a tiny reminder of God's presence. He whispered into the silence, Jesus, thank you for today. I saw you move in the small things, in the quiet moments in my heart. Before sleeping, He knelt at his bedside, the same place where the day had begun. He prayed not with desperation, but with trust, not with fear, but with faith. Jesus, I will call your name again tomorrow, and I know you will work again. He lay down, the night peaceful around him, and closed his eyes. Not everything in his life had changed, but he had, and that was a miracle he never expected. He drifted into sleep, wrapped in the quiet certainty that whenever he called on Jesus, heaven listened and God worked.